Hey guys, I'm coming to you from a hotel after one of my very last days of work in the pharmacy for the next few months. I'm leaving for the Philippines in less than a week. For those who don't know why I'm headed out, check out the link to this video. It has to do with a New Year's resolution and freediving. So as promised, I'm going to give some insights into the planning and preparation process. Quite the tongue twister. Planning, preparation process. I'm also going to share some of the things that I'm looking forward to, as well as some of my worries and concerns. One of the biggest aspects that I'm worried about is taking a few months out of my life to chase this goal, and then possibly not making the cut to become a freediving instructor. I'm generally pretty athletic, but I know that when I became a dive master, I sometimes had trouble equalizing my sinuses. This can be problematic for becoming a freediving instructor because I'm required to dive down to 40 meters or almost 132 feet.
Okay, time for a short science lesson. For those who don't know what equalizing is, it's what you do to make your ears pop when you're descending in an airplane. You do that in the water to make sure that the pressure on the inside of your ears matches the pressure on the outside of your ears, thereby avoiding ruptured eardrums and other horrible injuries. The only problem is that you have air pockets in your face called sinuses, and sometimes those can be harder to equalize.
I know myself and I'm pretty goal-oriented, mind over matter, especially when it comes to making a commitment. And sometimes that can be a bad thing, especially when I push my body past what it can tolerate. The second aspect that I'm worried about is trying to get a nonprofit up and running, especially when I'm going through a very physically demanding and time-intensive internship. For those who don't know about We of the Sea, it's a nonprofit being formed to use diving education and art, two things that I'm super passionate about, to get people excited and interested in ocean conservation.
You can view the website at www.weofthesea.org or check out this video to learn more.
The plus side is that I'm going to be surrounded by diving and ocean conservation projects in the Philippines, so I'm just aiming to use my time and energy efficiently. Other than that, I don't have any other major concerns. Now on to packing and planning.
So in there we have my mermaid tail and the freediving fins, as well as my hula hoops are gonna go in there. I also have my ukulele. Okay, so we also have my hammock and my slacklining kit for lounging. In that corner is the electronics, so I've got some speakers, my computer, and my Olympus Tough, as well as a battery pack. Here I have my diving torch, as well as a headlamp. Never know when you need a headlamp. As well as a little battery pack light. And my shades. And my planner and passport. That is my backpack full of clothes and swimsuits. And this mystery bag is a bunch of costumes for underwater photo shoots and some fire dancing. And over here, we have a suitcase full of diving gear. So my wetsuit, my housing for my camera, and a few books to read for fun.
Now the last thing to talk about is preparation. Fortunately, I have a super flexible job and they're okay with me taking a few months off, so I don't have to send any of those dreaded 2 weeks notices in. I've been subletting a room for the last 6 months and I've timed my departure with the end of the sublet. I've also been working out to get my fitness level up.
I try to run at least 3 times a week and bike commute as much as I can for cardio, and I rock climb 3 to 4 times a week.
The last part is putting my stuff in storage.
Most of my stuff is already in reusable plastic bins, as it makes for a more mobile lifestyle.
Okay, so that's all I have for this week. Wish me luck. I'm a bit excited, apprehensive, and I'm readying myself for a pretty big lifestyle change. Feel free to comment below to share some of your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Sailing Siren for more diving related content. Come back next week because I have some exciting bonus content about an ocean-themed art collaboration that I did with some talented artists. I got to be somebody's canvas for a day. Until next time, good night.